Swadika, good morning. Welcome to Newsline. We are broadcasting live on NBT, NBT World, and also Radio Thailand FM 88. It's Wednesday, January 20th of 2016. I'm Chalapan Rula. Let's take a look at today's headlines. In our first story, in Thailand Moves Forward, the Cabinet has given a green light to procure 100,000 tons of rubber at 45 baht per kilogram starting January 25th. Agriculture and Cooperative Minister General Chatchai Sarikanya revealed that the Cabinet has agreed to his ministry's proposal to purchase up to 100,000 tons of rubber directly from farmers at a price of 45 baht a kilogram, or a total budget of 4.5 billion baht. Starting on January 25th, the Rubber Authority of Thailand, on behalf of the government, will begin accepting all types of rubber from planters across the country. In the meantime, the Bureau of the Budget under the Ministry of Finance and the Office of the Council of State have been assigned to determine how to fund the 4.5 billion baht procurement plan. Deputy Permanent Secretary for Agriculture and Cooperatives, Opat Glanbut, has voiced concerns over the execution of the newly approved rubber purchasing plan. He claimed the current rubber subsidy scheme, which entitles rubber farmers to 1,500 baht per rai, is still faced with problems, particularly in the disbursement process. Meanwhile, the Cabinet has agreed to set aside an additional 56 billion baht for government's 2016 budget. Government spokesperson Major General Sansern Kamnert reported that the Cabinet meeting approved in principle to add 56 billion baht to the expenditure budget fiscal year 2016. The Bureau of the Budget has been tasked with studying the matter with other related agencies and resubmitting the proposal to the Cabinet for review on February 9th. Afterwards, it will be deliberated by the National Legislative Assembly and is expected to be implemented in late February. Of the extra budget, 15 billion baht will be spent on the expansion of broadband internet access, 8.3 billion baht on replenishing the state coffers, and 32.6 billion baht on projects to strengthen and push the country forward in line with the National Reform Plan. The budget will come from the government's tax revenues and earnings from the National Broadcasting and Telecommunications Commission's bidding of 4G licenses on both the 900 and 1,800 MHz spectrums. Deputy Government Spokesperson Major General Wirachon Sukontapatipak spoke with Newsline about other resolutions from the Cabinet meeting.
Cabinet today has approved the adjustment of ministerial regulation under the Royal Thai Police on the visa on arrival fee. For passengers who would like to apply for a visa on arrival to Thailand for tourism, the new regulation stipulates that the visa fee will now be adjusted from 1,000 baht to 2,000 baht for a single entry. An approval was granted today for a plan of action on the Safe Mekong project to curb drug smuggling in the Mekong region and the Golden Triangle. This is a 3-year action plan from 2016 to 2018 and is initiated with 6 member countries, namely Thailand, China, Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, and Vietnam. The plan of action covers the following measures: the interception of chemical use in the manufacturing of narcotic drugs, coordinating checkpoints and interception points, intelligence gathering and operation against target groups, water and land patrol along the important area, and the establishment of the Safe Mekong Coordination Center in all member countries. This project is expected to suppress narcotic production and distribution as well as improve interception efficiency along drug smuggling routes.
Moving on to our next story, the government affirmed progress in its crackdown on illegal fishing as it prepares for an evaluation by EU officials this week. Government spokesperson Major General Sansern Kamnert reported that the government is ready for the inspection. EU officials have arrived to evaluate Thailand's measures to combat illegal fishing from now until tomorrow. The spokesperson affirmed that the government is making a sincere effort to tackle the problems that has plagued the fisheries industry. Major General Sun Seon explained that there are 5 solutions being implemented, which include the drafting of the legislation to regulate fisheries, overhauling the monitoring system for fishing activities, expediting the prosecution of human trafficking in the industry, extending cooperation with other countries, and helping fishing operators and workers to change their profession and allocate fishing zones. Prime Minister General Prayut Chan-o-cha has said that the results of the evaluation are beyond the government's control. He added that the EU's decision will not affect his administration's continued efforts to tackle illegal fishing and foster sustainable fishing practices. The issues of illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing in Thailand are among the government's main concerns. After receiving a yellow card from the European Union, the Thai government has launched a multi-pronged campaign against IUU fishing in the kingdom's waters. And here's more about this issue.
The Command Center for Combating Illegal Fishing, CCCIF, began solving the problem with various CCCIF announcements. In order to allow the combat against IUU fishing works to be immediately carried out while waiting for the new Fisheries Act to be mandated. The major announcements include: number 1, set action plan and time frame. Number 2, set guidelines for port in, port out procedure. Number 3, rules, procedures, conditions to allow fishing boats to go out fishing. Number 4, designate the ports and any kind of marine vehicle entering and leaving the port. Number 5, compile the roster of foreign fishing boats, refrigerated fishing boats that are banned from entering the Kingdom of Thailand. Number 6, terms and conditions, gathering procedures and report to the board. Number 7, appointment of officials. Number 8, set up people center. Number 9, set standards and functional requirements.
We apologize for the technical difficulty there. Let's move on to our next story. The National Reform Steering Assembly, or NRSA, has endorsed a report on the reform of the country's public services. Police General Warapong Chiwaprita, chairman of the NRSA subcommittee in charge of preparing the report, told the plenary meeting that the public opinion survey has shown most people have not been satisfied with the police service. He said that the subcommittee has decided to suggest a reform of police operations to ensure freedom from political interference and to improve the standards of all services. The reform measures should be in place within 6 months. After the NRSA meeting completed its deliberations, members voted 154 to 8 with 6 abstentions to endorse the report and give the committee 7 days to gather opinions from the meeting before presenting a final proposal to the Cabinet for consideration. The Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs has claimed that Thailand's competitiveness depends on advancements in technology and its entrepreneurs having a shared understanding of the country's economic direction. Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs Somkit Jatusipitak said the key factor undermining Thailand's competitiveness is political instability, adding that the government is doing its utmost to improve the situation. Dr. Somkit made the comments during talks co-hosted by the Department of Trade Negotiations and the International Institute for Management Development, or IMD. Commerce Minister Apiradi Tantraporn explained that the talks were aimed at raising awareness of the nation's competitiveness. She added that a subsequent discussion will be held today. The IMD World Competitiveness Yearbook, an annual report that rates the performance of 62 countries, indicated that Thailand's competitiveness was ranked 29th in 2014 and 30th in 2015. Thailand's Department of Industrial Promotion, or DIP, and Japan's Ehime Prefecture have signed a memorandum of understanding on improving outcomes in the kingdom's small and medium enterprise sector. DIP Director General Somchai Hanhiran said the cooperative program with Ehime Prefecture would introduce Thailand's SME operators to the Japanese approach to efficient business management and technology development. Dr. Somchai indicated that currently there are 15 companies from Ehime Prefecture operating in Thailand, ranging from food and plastics processing firms to agricultural machinery companies. He said 9 more companies from the prefecture have shown interest in matchmaking with Thai business counterparts. In 2014, Japanese investors accounted for 40% of foreigner investment in Thailand, or 150 billion baht. Ehime Governor Tokihiro Nakamura said that entrepreneurs in the prefecture are also interested in investing in Indonesia and Vietnam in the future, citing possible technical cooperation in such industries as petroleum production and boat assembly. The governor expressed strong interest in investing in the kingdom, as the nation is at the center of the ASEAN region with high production capacity. Foreign offices of the Ministry of Commerce have advised exporters on how to penetrate markets worldwide in an effort to push Thai export growth to its 5% target. Foreign Commerce offices organized a seminar on exports and the Export Clinic to offer consultancy services. The representatives also educated attendees about potential markets and industries in each region. Director of the International Trade Promotion Office in Mumbai, Suwimon Dilok-Rungchai, said India was Thailand's main market for exports due to India's high economic growth. The country recorded 7% growth last year and was expected to show 7 to 8% growth in 2016. The Ministry of Commerce has targeted 9% growth for exports to India this year, after it contracted in 2015. Director of the International Trade Promotion Office in Yangon, Pakanet Leng Yi, said Thailand's target of export growth to Myanmar this year was 12%. He added that there were still opportunities for Thai exports in Myanmar, despite some limitations in terms of trade and investment. The Krungsri Asset Management Company has predicted that the Thai economy will expand by 3.2% this year, and the stock index will stand at 1,432 points. Acting Chief Investment Officer of Krungsri Asset Management, Suphapon Linabanchong, said tourism, consumer spending and government investments would help the Thai economy grow by 3.2% in 2016. However, she said there were still negative factors which might affect the growth estimate, including China's economic slowdown, as well as falling prices of commodities and agricultural products. As for the Thai stock market, Ms. Suphapon said short-term capital outflow was likely and held a positive outlook for investment in the stock market. She believed that foreign capital inflows would occur after government investments solidified between the end of the first quarter and the second quarter. Performance of listed companies had a tendency to continuously increase, with a profit growth projection of 10%. She also predicted that the government would maintain the benchmark interest rate at 1.5% throughout the year, since this rate was sufficiently supportive of an economic recovery. Receding water levels in the Mekong River have obstructed maritime transportation, particularly cargo ships traveling from China. The latest readings of the Mekong River in front of the Chiang San District Office were considered to be very low, having fallen 2 meters below the average depth of 11 meters. The receding waters have exposed sand dunes at several points in the river, affecting the navigation of all ship types. More than 30 large Chinese cargo ships were forced to dock until conditions improved. Meanwhile, the Ruok River along the Golden Triangle at Ban Sop Ruok in Wieng District has receded to a depth of 8 meters, Passenger vessels have resorted to extending 100-meter planks out to piers for travelers to come aboard. President of the Chiang Rai Chamber of Commerce, Ketsuda Sankakorn, said the current drought, coupled with China reducing the amount of water flowing out of its dams to 800 to 1,000 cubic meters per second, has exacerbated the situation in the Mekong River. As a result, Chinese cargo ships have had to reduce their vessel sizes from 400 tons to around 200 to 250 tons. And that's it for today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Up next in ASEAN News, the National Research Council of Thailand organizes an exposition to celebrate Thailand Inventors Day 2016. But before that, here's a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
Gifts of bounty fill the trawler still. I dance in thanks to thee.
Welcome back to Newsline. The National Research Council of Thailand, or NRCT, will host the 2016 Bangkok International Intellectual Property Invention, Innovation and Technology Exposition, or IPTEX 2016, next month to celebrate Thailand Inventors Day 2016 on February 2nd. NRCT Deputy Secretary General Sukanya Thirakoonlerth revealed that IPTEX 2016 will hand awards to 207 researchers for their significant achievements in the fields of science and economy. Visitors can enjoy a wide array of inventions put on display by the NRCT, as well as exhibitions of His Majesty the King's achievements and outstanding inventions from other ASEAN nations. The event will take place from February 2nd till the 6th at Bangkok International Trade and Exhibition Centre, or BITEC. Ms. Sukanya said the Cabinet declared February 2nd to be Thailand Inventors Day to commemorate His Majesty the King's creation of the Chai Patana windmill for wastewater treatment in 1993. The Immigration Bureau is tightening its passport screening measures to prevent transnational crime among ASEAN member countries. Immigration Bureau Commissioner, Police Lieutenant General Natathorn Prasunthorn oversaw a training session of the Suvarnabhumi immigration team on passport examinations. The session was organized to enhance national security. The team will utilize new equipment with a high degrees of accuracy in detecting fake passports in order to prevent potential acts of terrorism and transnational crime. The team will also build a regional network to share and exchange information. Police Lieutenant General Natathorn said that many foreigners in Thailand have overstayed their visas and have used fake passports when traveling abroad. He said that these individuals have contributed to the problem of human trafficking and transnational crime in the region. The training should help reduce such problems. other global news, Chinese President Xi Jinping met with Saudi Arabia's Deputy Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Riyadh, hailing the upgrade in bilateral ties as an irresistible trend. Chinese President Xi Jinping told the Saudi Arabia prince that the elevation of bilateral ties to a comprehensive strategic partnership represents a new phase in the relations between the two countries. He also said the Chinese side is willing to expand the scale of oil trade between the two countries and discuss and promote bilateral cooperation in areas of new energy, clean energy, nuclear energy, and security. Xi said that Saudi Arabia stands at a key junction along the Belt and Road, that the two countries should discuss aligning their development strategies and that they should actively participate in the interconnectivity and intercommunication in the Middle East and the Gulf region. The prince said Saudi Arabia is willing to participate under the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative and hopes to become as a vital corridor in China-Africa economic cooperation. He also expressed his country's willingness to strengthen coordination with China in achieving regional peace and stability. Colombia's government and leftist FARC rebels agreed to ask the UN Security Council to help monitor and verify a rebel disarmament should the two sides reach a final peace deal to end their 50-year-old war. The two sides met in the Cuban capital Havana, the site of peace talks for the past 3 years, and made a joint statement read by Cuban Representative Rodolfo Benitez. The statement asked that the UN Security Council establish a political mission with unarmed observers for a period of 12 months, extendable upon request by either the national government or the FARC. Colombian President Juan Manuel Santos said last year he would make such a request of the United Nations. That the rebels agreed to make their request jointly with the government is a sign of progress, as the two sides aim to reach a comprehensive peace agreement before a March 23rd deadline that negotiators set last year. The two sides would also ask the community of Latin American and Caribbean states to participate as UN member states in monitoring and verifying a bilateral ceasefire and the laying down of arms by the FARC. Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull met with members of the US Senate leadership at the Capitol. The meeting came after Turnbull and US President Barack Obama pledged to increase cooperation on counter-terrorism and the fight against Islamic State. Obama praised Australia for its support in Afghanistan and thanked the Prime Minister for his country's troops' sacrifices around the world. Turnbull said it was critical to improve efforts to fight Islamic State. And that's it for today's edition of Newsline. If you do have any suggestions or comments, please feel free to email them to us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, type in NNT, or have a look at our website, which is thainews.prd.go.th/en. Today we say goodbye with pictures of more eruptions at Mexico's Colima volcano. I'm Chola Pansana Rula. Please join us tomorrow, same time right here on NBT. Sawasdee ka.